186 of the All the Books show. I'm Eric Mickles, and with me is my...
Gunning.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Thing?
No, not really. I couldn't remember who Moriarty's first name is in Sherlock.
Yeah.
So,
what is it?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, I was going to say you're my Leon Moriarty to my whatever his name is.
Leanne Moriarty.
Yeah.
The author of Big Little Lies and other such things.
You're my her to my John Moriarty?
Yeah, sure.
James?
It could be.
Thomas.
That's going to drive me crazy.
Chris Moriarty.
We're going to have to get Roger on that.
Chad Michael Moriarty.
Oh. Normally we record at the David A. Howe Public Library, but for what I want to say is the second time out of 100 and how many episodes?
Is this only the second time?
I think
186.
186. I think I've only remember doing this one other time.
At your house.
At my house. Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway, we're in my house.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking Captain Marvel a little bit later with a special guest star.
Yeah.
Brie
Larson.
Yeah, that'd be fun. She's too busy. She's too busy. We're going to be talking...
Charlize Theron?
Yeah. Let's give her a call.
Alison Brie.
No,
whom I keep confusing
so.
name-wise.
No, I don't think she'd have much to add.
Maybe. She'd be fun.
Yeah, she could. Anyway, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. And right now, do you want to... I think we should lead off with the fact that we went to a Wizard World Comic Convention over the weekend.
I did go to a Wizard World Comic Con.
Just Wizard World?
Yeah.
We met a good portion of the Smallville cast.
That's true.
Eric met Matt Ryan from the Constantine show, Legends of Tomorrow. And, I mean, would you say the biggest one for you was Kevin Conroy, voice of Batman since...
Kevin Conroy was great.
92?
Yeah, 1992.
92?
Kevin Conroy has been Batman since 92.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
And who... Yeah, I mean, Sean Astin.
Yeah, Sean Astin,
there.
that's right.
But yeah, Matt Ryan was cool.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah, I was.
He was a fun guy.
I was, yeah. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the first time I think that many like Smallville alums had been in one place. So the panel was really fun.
6 of them, if you count John
four,
Glover and Black
5.
Canary, Supergirl.
5. Yeah, 5.
Oh, 5.
So yeah, I mean, it was great to have that many of them together. Of course, I love that show. We have most of it in the collection. We have one of the graphic novels, and we have several of the seasons. So if you have
somebody donated them.
If you have never read or watched Smallville,
just now's your chance.
Watch it. So that was tons of fun. I did not pick up much swag. I thought I'd come back with some comic books and like
it was poorly set up.
Yeah, it was
shop wise.
It was.
So
it was, but I have no complaints about meeting the gang from Smallville. So that was a good time.
Did you meet any Charmed members?
I did not meet any of the Charmed cast.
Did you meet Chad Michael Murray?
I didn't, but I saw Jason Momoa from a distance.
I saw him too.
Yeah?
Yeah, I saw him taking pictures with people.
And he
I was
looks
like,
a lot like Jason Momoa.
He sure did. He had a Harley Davidson jacket on.
Yeah.
So, but like a sweatshirt jacket.
Yeah.
So he's comfortable, but he still wants you to know.
He lets
likes
you know.
his Harley.
He lets you know.
Do you think he's disappointed Aquaman doesn't have a Harley Davidson?
I wait for the sequel.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. I mean, he does ride that seahorse kind of like it's a Harley Davidson.
That's true, yeah.
In the film Aquaman.
Yeah.
Okay. I did read some things in the car, so we can jump into
That's true.
bookmark if you're ready for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
What did you read in the car?
Well, I think I'm going to start with some graphic novels. How about that? I read several graphic novels, a couple of those in your car, driving down the highway. I finished the Poe Dameron Star Wars series, and it kind of sputtered out. I think the main problem with that is follows the character of Poe Dameron from the Star Wars Force Awakens Last Jedi era, but like 90% of the run is pre-Force Awakens. So like the last maybe 2 issues of the series, they're like post The Last Jedi, and you get a little bit of taste of what's going on, but ultimately it just kind of felt like a waste of time. It didn't really work. So that was kind of disappointing. It's only a 5-volume series, and it has some good moments. I don't know that I would say rush right out and read it, but you could do worse. I read my first Deadpool. We have a standing order for Deadpool because it's so popular in our graphic novel section. And I've never really read one. I've read Deadpool and some other things, but to sit down and read a Deadpool, no. But I picked up Secret Agent Deadpool. Yeah. Where the plot is basically he's hired to assassinate a secret agent. And after an accident, they think that he's the secret agent. Yeah. And so he just kind of rolls with it. And it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun run. I mean, there is a volume 2. I don't know if he's still doing the secret agent thing, but if he is, I'd probably read it because I was enjoying it. I read Indiana Jones and the Arms of Gold. This is just a, standalone Indiana Jones graphic novel. Okay. It wasn't very good. Mostly the art. It was like, there must have been a sale on like tans and browns because it was like the most drab art that I've ever seen.
Oh no, all my oranges are gone.
Yeah. I read No Justice. DC Comics, big DC Comics crossover. Pretty good. The story was not great, but where I thought it excelled was it had very unusual character pairings, and that brought out some cool dynamics within them. So I thought that was pretty good. I read Out of the Bottle, which is one of the DC Superhero Girls graphics. That was fun. Okay. They were all doing they're doing like an art project, and June Moon / what's her name?
June Moon, the sorceress. No,
just sorceress. No,
the Enchantress.
Right. Enchantress, yes. Had magic paints, and so their like creations came to life. So it was kind of fun.
Oh no, June Moon.
This is in the juvenile section over there, and I feel like maybe that's it. I
read a few of the movies too.
Do we?
The library.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
The superhero girl
they're
movies.
Fun.
And one of the Lego movies.
I met the author, Shay Fontana. She was at the ALA conference a few years back, and she just seems cool. You know, she brings. It's just such a fresh approach to those characters, and it works pretty well, like setting them all in a school.
Like Lauren Merrill's Catwoman graphic. Like a fresh take.
A
fresh take on Catwoman.
No, I don't like that book. So those are the graphic novels that I read. The books that I read are as follows. Smallville, Flight, by Cherie Brennett and Jeff Gottsfield. Yeah. So this is one that I read because we were going to meet the Smallville cast, and I just was like in the zone. Yeah. Pretty fun. Yeah. Pretty fun. There's like a regular Smallville series, and then there's like a YA Smallville series.
Yeah.
So there ends up being like 25 Smallville novels. Yeah. This was one of the YA ones. I never read one of those before. And it went pretty quickly because it was a YA, but I thought it worked. I thought it was pretty good. Clark gets a job at a pizza place. So
whoa, that's relatable to me.
Good times. Good times were had by all.
Dad, I can make pizza so fast. Clark, you gotta be responsible with your powers and not make pizza fast.
The cook time is, I think,
you can't really
do that. But
that's the same thing with like cleaning. Whenever he like cleans a house, I'm like this. Like the towel still has the same absorbent rate that it normally has. Yeah, exactly. So you're still gonna have to clean.
Yeah, unless you have lots of towels. Yeah, that's the way around. Yeah. Then you gotta do a little laundry.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I finish? Planet of Twilight by Barbara Hambly. Mm-hmm. This is
like Planet Rock.
No,
that, like cool rap song from the 80s.
Like Planet Suck, because this was terrible.
Whoa!
I enjoyed one of her Star Wars books called Ghost Walker that I read with some friends for a book club. We all liked that one. We've all hated the other ones. We were kind of like committed to this trilogy, and we were all like, maybe we should just skip it. But no, we powered through. And it was just bad. It's just bad and sloppy and confusing. There's some fun Leia Jedi stuff in it. Other than that, I didn't like it.
She's a yellow lightsaber, right?
Yes. Yeah. I read Caves of Steel by Isaac Asimov. This is we're doing this for a book club here. This is the first of our sci-fi book club pick. We're going to be discussing this March 26th at 5:30.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get pizza. I don't know, but we're leaning towards pizza.
Yeah.
So I read this. I have only read Asimov short stories, and I really like the short stories. And I read this book, and I kind of feel like maybe I should have stuck to short stories. But it'd be interesting to talk about. I think the problem that I have with the book, without getting too much into it, have you read this? Have you started this?
No.
Okay. My problem is that there's really fascinating and relatable stuff about like the society and everything. I think it's a really good kind of projection. Not that the science is all right, but I think the feeling of the world he captures pretty well. Like as you're reading it, you're like, yeah, that's totally applicable to 2019 as we record.
Right.
But I think the problem is it becomes like, let's have a 200-page discussion on this. And it kind of stops. It feels like we're just sitting in their living room, like talking with them for a very long time. So, I mean, if you can roll with that, I think the actual subject matter and the kinds of things that they're doing are interesting. But format was not for me. So we'll see what the other fellas think when we do the book club. But I don't know. So that's all that I have finished. I'm currently reading Supergirl Volume 2, Escape from the Phantom Zone. And yes, I'm reading this because I just met Smallville Supergirl and was in a Supergirl mood.
Okay.
And I'm also reading Dawnbreaker by Matt De La Pena, Newbery Award-winning author.
Oh, the Superman Dawnbreaker.
Superman Dawnbreaker, DC Icon series.
Yeah.
Which we're talking about doing a future podcast on because we've all
read one.
We've read one.
So we got to get somebody to read the Catwoman book.
That's right. And I'm reading
Sarah J. Maas.
Bird Box. Bird Box, the basis for the Netflix movie, which I've not seen.
Right. Nobody spoil it for him.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying the book so far. It's more horror tinged than I thought. I wasn't Mm-hmm. I just don't know anything about the movie other than like they wear blindfolds in a boat. And that's all I know.
Do you remember the time we had my wife on this podcast and we were talking about Bird Box, and I said the thing about Sesame Street's Burt Box would be funny, and you guys were like, "That's stupid." Yeah. But then I went online and I found a big meme that somebody had done with that, and it was hilarious.
Bird Box. Yeah, I do remember.
All right.
Well, we just thought Big Bird Box.
Yeah, somebody else had done that too.
Would be better, but agree to disagree. I disagree on that. Anyway, I am just about finished with this book, and I'm enjoying it. It's a good passing good time. I don't know that it's making me want to watch the movie. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Okay. The book is upsetting enough. I sort of feel like the movie would be upsetting to the point where like I wouldn't enjoy it, but I don't know.
From what I've heard about the movie, which is most everything, it sounds like I just wouldn't enjoy it. Sounds like it's kind of bad. But maybe I haven't seen it.
The book is working. The book is working.
People tell me about like the plots and the scenes and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't sound fun.
Yeah.
Or good.
Yeah.
Like, what's this? Quiet Place sounds good.
Yeah.
But the other thing doesn't.
Yeah. It's a kind of a hard premise that they can't open their eyes.
I'm going to make a horror movie where you can't smell anything.
Ooh. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, if you smelt it.
Yeah.
You're going to get dealt it.
Death. You will be dealt it. Okay. If you smelt it, you will be dealt it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for me. What about you? What have you been reading?
I finished, what did I finish?
G.I. Joe something?
I did. I finished G.I. Joe Volume 3.
Okay, go Joe.
So, I think I talked about that last time. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with me.
Brendan Fraser in the movie?
Yeah, for a little bit.
He was.
The first movie, Rise of Cobra.
I just couldn't remember if that was like a fever dream I had, because of course he would be in that movie.
Yeah.
But
no, he was in it for a little bit.
He was.
I'm liking this G.I. Joe stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, at some point, this other Cobra leader is going to come in and create kind of like a Cobra, like Civil War.
A Cobra Civil War.
Yeah. Wow. So that's going to be cool.
Wow.
Look, I don't know. It's just sometimes it just gets so like ridiculous. You realize you're following like 18 different plots all in one issue, and you're just like, sweet. Huh. And then they all like collide.
Wow. Okay.
It kind of feels like every other issue is like a big event.
I would not have called that, but Star Trek versus Transformers did kind of make me want to pick up the old Transformers comics.
You know what it is? It's funny.
Okay.
It's also funny.
Oh, like intentionally funny?
Yeah, it's like an 80s.
Good for them.
It's very 80s Marvel in a lot of ways, but it's also just like this is this elite group, but they're also like sometimes they just trip and sometimes they're saved by their dog. So at one point, like the Cobra Commander and like 3 other flunkies are like chasing after one of the dogs because they think he's on their team, and they're like getting stuck into quicksand. Like, the dog led us into this, and he's like, haha. And it's just kind of it's just silly.
Yeah.
But then other times people just get shot right in the chest.
Things just happen. Okay. Yeah, all right. So G.I. Joe. What else you got?
I got to start Capes of Steel.
Okay.
So that's a big deal. I finished season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh.
Finally.
I like that show.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. So.
Yeah. I think I'd be hard pressed to say like that it's like technically a good show.
I think it is.
Do you?
I think the second season gets good.
Okay.
I think the first season is objectively bad.
Yeah.
But I think the show gets to a point where you could be like, no, this is good television.
There's a sloppiness in it that it's like either you find it endearing or like you're like, this is dumb. Yeah. And I've settled for endearing. Sometimes I'm like, am I watching Farscape? What is this? You know?
Yeah, it has that kind of... I think that's part of the reason why... Because, like, you've complained about this before. That, like, Supergirl and Flash and Arrow, they're solo heroes who are just surrounded by, like, 18 people each. Yeah. And so it's this big ensemble show for this, like, solo hero. Especially, like, Supergirl, who doesn't need anybody.
And you know what? I mean, the Supergirl run that I'm reading, the Rebirth one, 3-volume thing, does the TV show thing. So she's in the DEO. And I just think it's so... stupid.
It's limiting.
To have who is like arguably the most powerful DC superhero just like tripping and being like, okay, I'll go on a mission. It just seems like
that's why I don't like the Avengers working with S.H.I.E.L.D. normally. I just superheroes should just be off doing their own thing. But anyway, what's nice about Legends is it is a team.
Yeah, right.
And so like you're not like, why is this person why is Iris just hanging out with them? It's like, we gotta solve the team, guys. I'm a reporter sometimes.
Right.
But on Legends, like everybody's just so it feels like an actual like superhero team show.
Yeah.
So
the closest they've done to any kind of like tie-in is they put out a Ray Palmer The Atom collection that is not really connected to the show at all. It's just like a collection of Atom stories called Legends of Tomorrow: The Atom, which we do have in our collection.
One night I was watching Legends. It was the first season, so I wasn't happy.
Right.
And so I was just writing down my own cast of like who would I put in Legends.
Yeah.
And that was fun. It's like the idea is strong.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is a cool idea. Anyway, season 2.
I like the J.R.R. Tolkien episode.
Yeah.
But I think it's because a lot of it was just J.R.R. Tolkien stuff. So it's just stuff, quotes from Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, that's pretty powerful. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's from Lord of the Rings.
Have you seen anything with George Lucas?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
I like that.
Where,
I like that. Ray Palmer, Brandon Routh has some fun where he's like, okay, George Lucas. Like, he's just funny in that episode. Anyway, that's the CW show Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
And we do have the DVDs in the collection, right?
Yeah.
I think we're basically caught up in the current season. So.
At the library?
No, I mean like in my own personal life.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, me and my wife are like 2 years behind on everything.
Yeah. So. Legends is the only one we've stayed up on. So anyway. All right. Well, let's do some book news. There's so many things out right now. We need to do like an awards roundup because I think I mentioned last week Edgar's are out. Barnes & Noble's Discovery Awards are coming out. Ooh. The Audible, not Audible, but the
audiobooks.
Yeah, Audies. What is that? Is it the Audies?
I don't know what it's called.
It's something like that, but the audiobook awards are out. So next week we'll have to like kind of go
those
through
are fun.
And give you the highlights of those. But right now I need to know what's on the New York Times bestseller list.
The New York Times bestsellers list for adult hardcover fiction. So sick of reading Fire and Blood, number 10 by George R.R. Martin.
I know.
First volume of the 2-part history of the Targaryens and Westeros.
I'm exhausted just hearing you say that.
Yeah. Black Leopard, Red Wolf is down at number 12 right now. So it was pretty high. So I'm just saying it's not on this list. Number 9, 2 weeks on the list, is Never Tell by Lisa Gardner. D.D. Warren and Flora Dane investigate whether a pregnant woman shot and killed her husband.
All right. This is the run where everybody's killing their husbands.
Yeah.
Like all the bestsellers.
Yeah.
I've never read Lisa Gardner, but I probably should get on that.
Yeah. Number 8 is The Reckoning by John Grisham. A decorated World War II veteran shoots and kills a pastor.
Did I tell you my woes with this book? I had it on hold, on overdrive, and it came in and I wasn't ready for it, so I just put it back and then replaced the hold. And it was number 40.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Do you understand what that means?
Yeah, you got to wait till 40
39 people have to read this book.
Yeah.
I will get this ebook when John Grisham has like 5 more books out.
Yeah. Let's hope you don't meet him, because then he'd be like, did you like my new book, The Reckoning?
Yeah.
Like, actually, I had it, and then I had to give it up. He's like, oh, well, later, loser.
Good day, sir.
Yeah. Number 7, 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty.
Oh, boy.
Paul Moriarty. Is that who he is? Is that...
No.
Okay.
No.
Right. Maybe it's like, Ashley Moriarty.
I think it's just something really boring. I think it's like James Moriarty.
Oh.
But I'm gonna look it up, so you keep going.
Okay. Romance writer becomes fascinated by the owner and director of a health resort. Number 6, new this week.
It is James Moriarty.
James Moriarty. Yeah. All right. You're the Leanne Moriarty to my James Moriarty.
I don't like that, though. I don't want to be Leanne Moriarty. I don't see how...
You don't want to be a successful writer who just makes her own schedule and lives her own life, doing what she does?
Would I have to relive Truly Madly Guilty? Because no, then it's not worth it.
No, you already wrote it.
Oh, okay. Well...
Number 6, chocolate cake... Oh, sorry. Number 6, Chocolate Cream Pie Murder.
You love these books. These Joanne Fluke books.
Joanne Fluke.
You read the last one.
Hannah Swenson teams up with a former lover to find out who left a dead body in her bedroom.
If you have missed the episode called Christmas Book Club that we did a few months, I guess now back, with Bo Hutchings, we all read a Christmas-themed book, although Bo's was Halloween.
Yeah.
And Eric read the Joanne Fluke, and it, I think, fundamentally changed you.
It made me an angry person.
Did it?
Yeah. I think I know who the dead body that they found in her bedroom was.
Really?
It was me after reading one of these books. No. I died of boredom.
Oh my gosh. Did you try any of the recipes in that book?
No, some of them looked good.
Did they? You Hannah Swenson fan.
No!
Yes, you are. You're a Swansea.
Number 5, The Silent Patient by Alex...
yeah, it's a tough one.
Michaelides.
Yeah, I don't know.
Michaelides.
I don't know.
Michelides.
I don't know.
Theo Faber looks into the mystery of a famous painter who stopped speaking after shooting her husband.
Yes, I like the sound of this one.
Are you a husband? Beware.
Yeah, seriously. It's like that time when there was all those Penguin movies out at once. Same thing with the murdered husband.
Yeah, do you see March of the Penguins or Happy Feet?
Yeah. Do
you shoot your husband or shoot your husband?
Or shoot your husband and also not speak anymore.
Yeah.
Those are the options.
Yeah. Number 4, An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen.
Doing well.
Jessica Ferris's life unravels when she signs up for Dr. Shields' psychological study. Number 3, new this week.
Oh.
The Border by Dawn Winslow. The 3rd book in the Power of Dogs series. Art Keller's fight to keep drugs out of the country has taken a complicated turn.
I think every time Don Winslow comes up, I'm like, who is Don Winslow? And then I'm like, oh, right, it's that one I never can remember.
Yeah. Number 2, The Chef by James Patterson and Max Dalio. Caleb Rooney, a police detective and celebrity food truck chef. Right. Let's clear his name on... Man, I could go for tacos right now. Mm-hmm. Or...
So just call 911.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrity detective food chef cops.
Do you think his food truck has, like... Because I want tacos, but maybe also a chicken sub. And I think I need to, like, see the two. Yeah.
No, I don't think...
Do you think it's one of the other?
I think if you're a food truck, you need to pick a specialty. You know what I mean?
Pasta? Do food trucks pasta?
I don't know, driving around with all that boiling water seems like...
Number 1.
Like an accident waiting to happen.
Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens.
You
already said this.
No, you're right. It's Delia.
Delia Owens.
Yeah.
A woman who... I guess I've been saying this wrong for...
You said Delilah.
26 weeks.
Yeah, it's all right.
Sorry, everybody.
It's fine.
A woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect after shooting her husband in a...
Is that true? Because I genuinely don't know anymore.
In a...
Marsh.
In a reckoning pastor.
Oh, I see what we're doing.
I'm trying to combine them all. I can't.
That's all right.
So, yeah.
Was that number 1?
Yeah, that was number 1.
Crawdads is back to number 1.
Crawdads hasn't left number 1, I don't think, in a long time.
I love them Crawdads.
Crawdads.
They love them Crawdads.
Who's them?
America.
Reese Witherspoon, right?
Reese Witherspoon, sure.
She loves them.
She does.
So...
Yeah. We're going to talk about...
Sorry, everybody.
We're going to talk about Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, her comic book history, her TV history, and now her movie history. But I don't know a ton about that.
Yeah.
But I'm married to someone who does.
Me?
No, we're just friends.
Ah.
But I am married to someone who knows a lot about Captain Marvel, and I'm going to go get her. All right, Hilary, welcome to the Old Book Show.
Why, thank you.
The last time you were here, we talked about Wonder Woman.
Yes.
So you're just game to talk about any DC superhero that we...
I'm the lady nerd.
All right.
Did you just refer to Captain Marvel as a DC superhero?
Oh, I did.
And I just let it happen.
I started wrong. Wrong. You know, it's because I was leading to a Catwoman joke, but... All right, so let's get into this Captain Marvel. Hilary, we wanted you to be on this because you have read much more Captain Marvel than either one of us.
That is true.
So I thought maybe we would start by where we were first introduced to this character, and I have a sneaking suspicion that we might have the same answer to this. So
you and me?
Maybe all of us.
No.
Well, I think technically Eric and I have the same.
Oh, really?
Very beginning.
All right, well, go ahead. Take it then.
I mean, I'm just guessing.
Where did you meet Captain Marvel?
Well, the
Carol
very,
Danvers,
very, very
Ms.
first
Marvel
Carol Danvers, Ms. Marvel, was this mythic person that I'd never heard of before, except she was where Rogue from the X-Men got her powers.
Okay.
Sure did.
Now, this is where I suspect Eric and I have the same experience.
That's my answer.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, mine specifically is the 90s X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right, you too?
It must have been the cartoon first, because I read more. I already had seen stuff about Rogue before she showed up in, the comics I was reading. So it must have been the cartoon. But I'm not sure if I saw that very specific, that one episode where, Captain Marvel's inner brain, she's like, let me out!
Yeah. That is probably my favorite episode of that series.
Really?
I was so intrigued by that.
It's pretty dark.
As a kid. It is dark.
It's dark because... the X-Men are the bad guys in that. They're like, you're just going to keep you in here in this cage, and we're going to cement the cage in Rogue's brain.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Rogue's just like, I'm sorry!
And Rogue goes and, visits her in the hospital where she's just, in a coma. Yeah, intense.
Yeah.
90s X-Men,
if
intense.
only they had, a super powerful telepath who could do
Yeah.
something
that
while
would
transferring.
Yeah, that would be better.
That's too bad.
Oh, well. All right, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then for me, I don't think, I saw... or thought of that character until the Earth's Mightiest Avengers.
Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
The Avengers cartoon.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of competition in terms of
Avengers.
Avengers.
Another show?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Yeah. She shows up in the third season or something.
Yeah, and of course she's on Superhero Squad, but I guess I wouldn't really.
Superhero Squad.
Hero up. Okay. So what about you then? Have you read a Captain Marvel or Ms. Marvel, a Carol Danvers lead?
She was
solo.
Okay, well, she was, in the X-Men comics for a while, because certain writers did some pretty dumb stuff to her, beforehand, and Chris Claremont's like, I will fix this. And so, she kind of came into the X-Men as, damaged goods, and hung out as just, their friend, without powers and everything. But then she was in space during the Brood Saga, and she gained powers, and she became binary for a little bit. But then she found out Rogue was part of the team, so she got out of touch.
Dunzo. So. All right, so you've read that stuff.
Yeah, and I read... she's been in some Avengers stuff I've read, but I also read one of her books that was fairly recently.
Hilary, let's start with the really old stuff.
Okay, I haven't finished
Higher, further, faster, more. Okay. That's what I read. Yeah. Captain Marvel Volume 1.
Yeah.
But I think I read it.
Is that the one where she's with the Carol Corps, or is that the one with the lady?
It's the one where she's got her glove up and she's like, yeah.
That's not helpful.
Okay. That's the cover where I was like, oh, it should be Charlize Theron.
I guess that's probably the Carol Corps. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I know that you've read the first whole section of Masterworks and then part of the second section. So I just wonder, like...
Is that true? I read the whole first one?
You did, yeah. You did. A big hardcover of it.
Well, then never mind for what I just said.
So I guess I'm just wondering, like, how does that Captain Marvel... Is she She's Captain Marvel.
She's Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel. For a long time. She just kind of relatively recently became Captain Marvel.
So how is that Ms. Marvel run? How does that compare to, like, where the character is now? Like, is it a recognizable...
I guess I would say it's recognizable in certain way, but for the most part, it's very, very different. She's like a journalist or something, and she's...
Huh.
What?
I just didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. She starts out, she just sort of, like, appears in J. Jonah Jameson's office, and she's gonna be the editor of his women's magazine, because the reason that she started in this context.
It's taken a long time for J. Jonah to get woke.
Yeah.
So it's taken many years.
He's still not. He spends the entire time being, like, the quintessential chauvinist. But anyway, from what I understand, they started her title in response to the women's lib movement.
I see.
So that's why they call it Ms. Marvel, because that was something that they came up with. Ms. was not a thing before the feminist movement.
Okay.
So, anywho, so she appears in J. Jonah Jameson's office, and he's, like, reluctantly giving her this position to head up the women magazine, which she does. And so she's got sort of like a tough feministy kind of vibe, but it's a 70s tough feminist.
So
written by men.
So she's Rhoda, is what you're saying.
She's kind of Rhoda. Okay. She's kind of Rhoda. But then she also has, like, she's also Ms. Marvel, but then she's both at the same time, and she doesn't know that she's both.
She doesn't know that she's both.
She doesn't know that she's both.
Weird.
She uses most of her powers to convince Superman to marry her.
Oh.
Gosh.
No, that's the Lois Lane run of the 50s.
No. Although, there is a lot of stuff with her. Not with Superman, obviously.
Right.
But throughout her whole existence, there's this tension of, like, she's this feminist icon, but she's basically written by men, and so everything that happens to her, she's constantly falling in love with people like Black Widow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so do you enjoy the 70s stuff? Or is it more like the context?
I would never read it without liking Captain Marvel.
Okay.
But it's nice to, like, go back and be like, okay, interesting.
All right.
So it doesn't feel like a prequel. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm learning more about her actual character. Right. But it's like a literary adventure.
Right. Okay.
70s Marvel can be a lot of fun under the right circumstances.
Yeah, I hate it.
So, yeah.
I don't like the style at all.
But I guess I'm reading mostly their monster books, so there was no, like, werewolf lib movement.
There was not, to my knowledge,
a
werewolf book.
So there was never, like, who's this white guy writing this werewolf book? But Ms. Marvel and, what, like you said, Black Widow. Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Black Widow is, I'm
Scarlet
only thinking
Witch,
about the current movies.
Scarlet Witch is always just kind of also like that, too.
Yeah, the current movies is what I'm talking about with the Black Widow.
The Black Widow. All right, so
I don't know anything about her beyond that.
You kind of fell sideways, I think, into getting into Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Through Jessica Jones. Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah. I first started out with Jessica Jones with her. What's the imprint that she was on? It was the
Max.
Marvel Max.
Yeah, like the super adult.
Yeah, we can say the F word.
Look at us, we're tough.
Yeah.
So
they don't put those
Jessica
on Marvel.
Jones, and I loved her. She's my spirit animal.
Yeah.
And I read everything that she was in, and she is best friends with Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
Because she was in, and I don't even know if this is a real thing, or if it's just like backstory that they inserted for Jessica.
Okay.
But apparently she was in the Avengers for a while.
Right.
And so she's friends with all the Avengers. There's some stuff with her and Captain America and stuff. And she's best friends with Ms. Marvel at the time, and they, like, hang out and stuff.
Okay.
So then when I ran out of Jessica Jones,
you transitioned.
I transitioned to Ms. Marvel.
And in the Netflix show Jessica Jones, they replace Captain Marvel
with another
Hellcat,
blonde,
right? It's Hellcat.
Tigress.
Oh no!
No, you're right. It's Hellcat.
Hellcat. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I
Patty.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was a person.
It's Patty.
Yeah, Patsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably because the Captain Marvel movie was on the horizon.
Probably,
but So anyway, you got there that way, and then basically you've read everything. I think everything that's either just Captain Marvel or Ms. Marvel you've read. And
yeah, everything that's just her. But I haven't really read much of her, like, in the Avengers. I haven't read much of her, you know, in other, like, with the X-Men, like you read. I haven't read much with that. And so when you try to follow her storyline, it jumps around kind of crazy.
So she kind of, after the 70s, she gets her own series again in 2006, where she's Ms. Marvel. Now,
that's when I remember her. That's basically when I was like, oh, that's Carol Danvers from the X-Men I read. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know, like, I remember reading, like, Wizard Magazine and stuff, and they had, like, the big cover of the new issue, and they're like, Ms. Marvel's back! And I'm like, where had she been?
Great. She's back. Excellent.
Yeah. And she was still being called Ms. Marvel at the time.
Okay.
Another aside, there is a character called Captain Marvel from, like, the 60s and 70s, and he's a Kree?
Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
Two
actually,
words.
Yeah.
So he's a guy with, like, cosmic powers, but he dies of cancer in the 70s.
Yeah.
Sad.
And so I think
Actually, we have that collection.
Yeah.
The Death of Captain Marvel.
I think the title, I'm not sure about this, but I think the title Captain Marvel floated around a little to different characters.
I was just looking at it, and I thought that it was like Captain Marvel, Marvel, and Carol Danvers, but there's like 6 or 7 people in between.
Yeah.
I had like old single issues that I got from like the bottom like 3 for a quarter bins of the old Captain Marvel, the man, like the male character.
Yeah.
That I liked, as a child, but I haven't read them again. So the 2006 run.
Yep.
Do you have much to say about that one, where she's Ms.? I don't remember you really liking that one so much.
I don't remember what happens in that.
It's during. It's right before and during Marvel Civil War. So the new Avengers, and she joins the team, the Iron Man's Mighty Avengers team. Around that time, she's still wearing the black with the yellow suit.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I don't know that I really settled into liking her a lot until she kind of started hanging out in space more, and they kind of solidified her character a little more. By then.
The only full run that I've read is the one from 2014. That's what I think you mentioned this earlier, Eric. Higher, further, faster, more.
Yeah.
There's that one, and then there's Volume 2, Stay Fly, and Volume 3. A-list Volet Propus. I read that full arc, and I got just a little sample of what you're always saying about Captain Marvel, because the first volume is one thing, the second volume is
something else.
It starts, and I'm like, who is this extra character? Like, where does this come from? And then I'm like, okay, fine, this makes sense. I have enough information. And then the third volume is, okay, bye. And then it's like, oh, now she's doing Black Vortex stuff. Done. Now she's going to go be with Star-Lord. Done. Yep. And then it's like Secret Wars. So it's like, what was the point of that? It
bounces all over the place. And I think some of that is that she's interweaving with other titles, because she's involved with Spider-Man, she's involved with the Avengers, she's all over the place, and Iron Man, everything. And some of it, I think, and this is just an impression of mine, but I feel like it's just them trying to rework her and not trusting what the previous writer was doing with her story.
It seems kind of unique that she's rebooted every single thing. I don't know. Is there another character that's rebooted as often?
Probably. I think her role in Marvel has changed a lot over the years too, because like taking on the title Captain Marvel, and she became more like a cosmic hero and everything, and also like after Marvel Civil War 2, she became a lot more of a leader. I think she led some Avengers at some point.
She was like the number 2 of the Avengers.
Of the Mighty Avengers.
She was, although maybe like the East Coast or something, or whatever.
I think there is a run where she's like in charge, but I don't.
Yeah. So I think a big thing is they've just been like upping her powers and making her more and more in the spotlight, I think.
Yeah. And I think for a long time, she was sort of used as like a filler character, like when they wanted someone, like, we need some strong woman.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't used Ms. Marvel for a while, so they just throw her into storylines. So I think her character's been very inconsistent for the, like, however, like 40 years or something that she's been floating around. And just now, I think with the Captain Marvel title, she just started kind of like being more of a lead. I think they always thought of her as a lead character, but they treated her as an extra because they would just have her do whatever they needed for the broader storyline.
Okay. Here was my takeaway from this 3-volume set. I thought that I liked her. I liked her style. I liked her humor, but I didn't feel like the story ever really did enough with that.
Yeah.
It's like there's some understanding of like this is how this character is written and it's good, but they just don't stick with anything for long enough for it to develop.
As a character, if you like think of her as a person, then you can see that she's consistent in a certain way. There's a certain aspect of her personality that's different from the rest of the like female leads or whatever. But yeah, the story completely changes. It's almost like her background completely changes, and you know, sometimes she's a journalist, sometimes she's in the military. I think it's strongest when she has a really strong military background and influence to her.
It's just kind of unique.
Yeah, the whole like fighter pilot thing seems to really kind of ground her, like her character. Like this is where her persona comes from, which really goes in when she hits the Captain Marvel stage. I think they really start. I think it's the title. I think Captain. They're like, military. Yeah. So they just kind of like really lean into that.
The one that I was just talking about, the one I read, the middle volume of that, volume 2, she has a bunch with Rhodey from, like Iron Man.
Yeah, but it's a romance.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know
it's
that.
A romance.
She in love with Rhodey.
With the romances.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked their
their
thing.
interactions are
really
great.
Well
they have really good chemistry, and then they end up in bed, and it makes me mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
When it's male characters, romance is character development. When it's female characters, it's just the character.
Okay.
The whole character is now enveloped in this.
I should have prepared you for this question ahead of time, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Are you going to ask me for memories?
With the understanding that
any.
It's okay if you don't have the answer.
Okay.
Is there something? Is there like an arc or that you would recommend?
Arc?
Well, just whatever. If it's like this volume or...
Yeah, I don't know the titles of any of the volumes, so maybe you can translate what I'm going to say. There's one that was sort of almost a transitional piece, I think, that's her with... there's one with her in the Carol Corps, which is her and a bunch of female fighter pilots living life.
We have that in the collection,
That one's very cool.
Okay.
That one does a lot for her leadership and, like... It's just nice to have so many women on the page. Right. There's another that focuses a lot on her with a mentor from her past, which, again, I don't know if this is some woman that we would have known from previous comics. It personalizes her and puts her in a caring position, but she's still herself. Okay. She's still very strong. Until almost the last 3, I liked the character. I wanted to read about the character, but the stories were all just insane and stupid. Okay. So, like, I read them, and I wanted to read them, and I'd be like, yes, I'm going to read about Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, but they're just bad. They're just bad. So there's something about the character that really speaks to me and, like, draws me in, regardless of which sort of reminds me of the movie. I don't know if we're going to talk about the movie.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the movie.
But, yeah, there's something about the character that keeps me coming, but the storylines have been not awesome. Okay.
And we don't have to get super in-depth on the movie. But
I don't know how to talk about the movie without spoiling it.
That's the thing. I think we should. Don't you think avoid spoilers for the Captain Marvel film?
Yeah.
Can we just say we're going to have spoilers, so don't listen if you haven't seen it?
How about we will try our hardest not to give spoilers.
Okay.
All right? So you're just warned if you haven't seen Captain Marvel. Just be careful. Okay. All right. So... I know you were very excited at the end of the last Avengers when we had
I was so
the
excited.
Captain Marvel logo on the
Just the little logo pops up on the pager.
A little beeper, yeah.
And I was like,
exciting.
It's the Hala Star.
All right, let's. I think maybe we're all in agreement that there's the movie was not handled in the most deft manner that it was.
That is, I'm gonna go ahead and say that's charitable.
Okay.
Here's the thing about the movie.
Okay.
I liked the movie.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching Carol.
Yeah.
And I thought that the production was great.
Yeah.
The visuals are awesome. A lot of the personal interactions are good. There's chemistry between certain characters. Yeah. Her and Fury are good.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of weaknesses, and I think it all comes down to the script.
Oh.
I think that is a lot of it. I think the script, and I don't know, I guess I would throw some directing under that bus as well, because when you're
she's very inconsistent.
There are so many. I mean, I love Annette Bening, all right? And I think Annette Bening is an amazing actress. So when I heard that she was cast in that, I thought, oh, this is going to be good. Like, she is going to be just right for this, like, tone.
Gravitas woman.
And so, like, when you have Annette Bening there in these scenes, like, if you're not getting a good scene out of that, then I think that's directing. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, that could be.
So I think that her character was underdeveloped and like
it could have been any
like
actor.
shamefully underutilized.
It could have been like CGI and it would have been exactly.
But I still think like from a storytelling standpoint, we did not get enough about any aspect of Annette Bening's character to really like
warrant the casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. That aspect isn't a weakness except for the casting, I think, because that character does not need in this movie to be that fleshed out, because all you see is
but I think that's a mistake. I think
you're thinking this is where spoilers come in. Annette Bening is playing multiple characters, and you can you might cast Annette Bening because there's other stuff you could do with that character,
like in the future.
Yeah, okay. It's true, but I still think we needed more of an anchor, because that relationship is, we're told right from the start of the movie that is the relationship for Carol. Like in her life, that is the relationship, and we never see that. Well, I think that is a problem. But I do agree that I think the biggest problem is script.
The biggest problem is 1,000% the script, and
but you're not feeling that, Nicholas?
Look, the more I think about the movie, the less I'm liking it. Like,
I feel that way too.
Since I watched it. I think when you're talking about directing, I think there's a scene where she's finally cutting loose with her powers, and they're playing No Doubt's I'm Just a Girl. And I think in a different director's hand, that scene would be very cool and a lot of fun. But on screen, it's just very blah.
Yeah. Earlier action scene I thought was much better than the like ultimate action scene. But go ahead.
Here's what I said to Nick.
Yeah, that's me.
About why I think a lot of the action sequences are bland. And I think it's